What are great questions to ask your interviewer at the end of a job interview? Can you tell me about the team that I would be working with? Getting the hot gossip before you even start. Big brain move. This was my go-to when I was on the job hunt. It shows interest and is an easy question for the interviewer to answer. These ones have generally worked well for me. 1. What is the culture of the office like? This is the real question to ask to find the answer to: am I going to be the oddball in my late 30s or 40s with kids when everybody else is in their 20s and staying late then going to happy hours or game nights? 2. Could you walk me through an average day, week in this position? Pretty self-explanatory. 3. What would success look like in 30/60/90/180 days? Gives you expectations of how fast you'll need to be up to speed. 4. What would a career trajectory or advancement look like in this position? Lets them know you're a hard charger, plus gives you an idea whether this is a dead-end job or not. 5. Why is this position open? Riskier ask and might not get a straight answer, but you can take your pick of opinions on the job, management, and the previous holder if the interviewer drops info like they left, were fired, promoted, it's a new position, etc. Where do I go to cry during breaks? What breaks? Camera pans up to portrait of Bezos. We actually have a cry room. Tell me something positive about working here that I won't find with many other employers. The more personal the answer: Deb brings in cookies on Fridays, we have a company trip to Worlds of Water every July, the better the job will be, Imo. The more it sounds like a rehashed version of their mission statement, the worse. Sometimes it might sound rehearsed. It's probably because they do quite a few interviews and get asked the same questions again. Doesn't make it less honest or true. Is this mandatory? How would you describe morale in your workplace, and what does the company do to help build morale? This is the most polite but direct way of asking, does it suck to work here, in a way which puts the onus on the company. A great, or suspicious, employer will smile and tell you of their weekly challenges/games/events they help break up the work week. A good employer will nod, admit the work can be hard, but they always hold small events to thank the workforce for their hard work. Once I asked this and the two people conducting the interview gave each other a troubled look before one of them said, "We let people sit in their teams so you have a comrade with your colleagues." It was the one time in my life that I've had the company fail the interview. What happened to the guy before me? Can I see the fridge I will be using so I can size my lunchbox purchase appropriately? HR here, I'd love to field that question. Never been asked before and would happily show them our collection of sauce packets and the jar of mustard from that barbecue we had 2 years ago. Smile. Ah, the office fridge. Lol, this makes it sound like you intend to fill the whole fridge with some freakish monster lunchbox. What do you like about your job? Always gets them. Actually, I put in my notice, and although you'll probably get the job, I'll be gone by the time you start. In one job I worked, we got purchased by a large multinational company. They came along for a meet and greet to let us know our new overlords. In the Q&A I asked our new CEO what was the best part about working for this new company. His answer was a minute or so of rambling until he basically said, the office is close to my home so I can see my kids after school, which is nice and all. But makes you wonder if all a CEO can come up with is the proximity of the job. I left shortly after and it seems half the former company has quit in the past 2 years. Can we hold hands on the way down in the elevator? There's no elevator. It's only 1 floor. Gonna be a long wait then, better start holding hands now. Be honest, are you mad at me? No, just disappointed. At the end of an interview for a job I really wanted, the creative director of that place asked if I had any questions or wanted to know anything before we ended, and he moved on to the next guy. So I simply asked, when do I start? He gave a nice laugh but gave me no answer, and I got a call 2 or 3 hours later from him just saying next Monday at 9:30. And that was like 7 years ago, and I haven't had the need to go to job interviews ever since. Anyway, how's your sex life? Where the white women at? Oh hi Mark. I asked my interviewer what his favorite holiday was, and it turned into one of his favorite stories to tell. He almost fell over laughing reportedly one time while telling it to my sister who worked there. I always like to ask how they got to where they are in the company and how they got started in the industry. People love to talk about themselves. Also, it's good to ask questions throughout the interview, not just the end when they ask do you have any questions. Think of it just as if you are interviewing them.
Make sure to like and subscribe for more stories.